who you saw up on that stage was a man last night that I think was able to communicate why his persona and his policies perfectly align with President Trump's vision. Such an eloquent messenger for President Trump's worldview and policies. They are completely aligned when it comes to their vision and the way that they see the issues that are most important to the American people. And you saw J.D. Vance speak to those issues with such authenticity. And then I think you saw someone, one thing that our voters love about President Trump is his authenticity. They love that he just tells it like it is. He is who he is. They feel like who they see is what they get. I think J.D. Vance in his own way last night was able to communicate that authenticity to the American people too. He reminded his children it was time to go to bed. As you mentioned, he's a proud Ohioan from the Ohio State. Spoke a little bit about his service to our country. Once a Marine, always a Marine. Again, couldn't be prouder to have J.D. Vance on our ticket. And he was also a wonderful representation and complement to all the other voices that we heard from last night. Last night's theme was Make America Strong Again. Of course, we heard from the families of some of the 13 U.S. service members that Joe Biden couldn't remember died on his watch. And I think J.D. Vance's unique perspective, having been a soldier himself, having been a Marine who fought in the global wars on terror, was a tremendous compliment to our programming last night. And he's a tremendous asset to this ticket, great energy, and he's looking forward to joining President Trump at his next upcoming rally in Grand Rapids, Michigan, after our convention.
Yes, he was very careful not to alienate the good people of Michigan, being an Ohio man. It's very important because those college rivalries, they run deep, Charlotte, as you know, as a Georgia alum. Let's take a listen to J.D. Vance last night talking about this Republican Party, by far the most unified he's ever witnessed. Take a listen.
I want to respond to his call for unity myself. We have a big tent in this party on everything from national security to economic policy. But my message to you, my fellow Republicans, is we love this country and we are united to win. And my message to my fellow Americans, those watching from across the country, is shouldn't we be governed by a party that is unafraid to debate ideas and come to the best solution? That's the Republican Party of the next 4 years, united in our love for this country and committed to free speech and the open exchange of ideas.
All right, so Caroline, you've got a rally in Michigan, and then Donald Trump has said privately that he's going to park J.D. Vance in the state of Pennsylvania to try to pick up Pennsylvania. His biography, and I just want to get your reaction, and sort of how you think people in this country will react to this guy who's not we're not talking about somebody who's had the silver spoon, all his life. This guy's worked for everything he's had. He enlisted in the Marines after 9/11, 2003, served in Iraq, came back home, applied to Ohio State, graduated in just 2 years, completed a double major, graduated summa cum laude. Then he went to Yale Law. That's where he met his wife. He also met Vivek Ramaswamy there, and they were friends, which is just what a coincidence. Then he got into venture capital, worked for Peter Thiel, was very successful. He's a father of 3. He's 39, and 109 days from today, he could become the vice president-elect. I mean, if that is not the American dream, and if that is not a story to sell, I don't know what is.
Absolutely. He is, as I said, a remarkable American. Look, something else that's so great about J.D. Vance is so many people in politics, as I think the American people have grown deeply tired of. It's what they find actually so refreshing about President Trump. So many people in politics feel a need to misrepresent their backgrounds, create this false sense of relatability with the American people. I know what it's like to be the everyday man. I'm not pointing to anybody in specifically, maybe Kamala Harris. But what you saw in J.D. Vance is somebody who's just a real person. He just speaks in a way that's real, that is authentic. He is who he is, and boy, does he have a remarkable American life to be proud of. As you mentioned, has absolutely lived the American dream, but along the way, all those different experiences, right? Being an enlisted Marine, being a soldier who's experienced combat, coming from a community of the forgotten men and women, experiencing the unique suffering, the unique problems in those communities, rising to incredible ranks in American commerce and business. This is a guy who can relate to a wide demographic of Americans, yes, inside the Rust Belt, but certainly outside of it as well. And I think he is just another tremendous compliment to what President Trump has already done in unifying this party behind him and around him, very much aligned on policy, very much aligned on vision, an incredible messenger for our movement. We could not be prouder to have J.D. Vance as our vice presidential nominee.